Welcome to another movie plot and enjoy the memories. It begins at a mental asylum in the room of a patient named Anita, better known to her friends as Needy. She narrates what her life's become as she wanders through the recess yard before punching the tetherball from its pole with a single strike. At breakfast, Needy's confronted by one of the nurses, so she kicks the woman in the face, getting her subdued by guards and thrown into solitary confinement. While there, she reflects on the events that led her here as we flash back to the small town Devil's Kettle, Minnesota. Named for a mysterious whirlpool that consumes everything that gets tossed into it, we're shown a high school prep rally where Needy's best friend Jennifer leads the team in a flag routine while her nerdy friend supports her from the crowd. Despite promising to meet her boyfriend after school, Needy agrees to go with Jennifer to a bar instead to watch a live band. The boyfriend Chip's unhappy about another lonely night and comments about how Needy always follows her BFF in everything she does. He watches as the two friends shove each other out to the car and not so sarcastically asks Jennifer to stop kidnapping his girlfriend. The BFFs go to Melody Lane where Jennifer runs into an ex-boyfriend Roman but has no interest as she drags Needy up to meet the band Low Shoulder. She has a crush on the lead singer Nikolai, but while gathering them some drinks, Needy overhears the members talking about Jennifer and her supposed virgin status. The friend lies to the creeps and says that Jen's a virgin to ward them away, but she still doesn't want to leave with Needy and stays for the band. As they begin to play, the aware friend watches as a spark ignites the stage and a fire begins to rage out of control, consuming the entire bar. Many patrons are burned to death in the chaos, but outside, all Nikolai can offer is some alcoholic persuasion to get Jennifer into the band's van and away from Needy. They lock eyes for the last time, and Needy calls Chip when she gets home to tell him about the abduction when she hears a noise downstairs and goes to investigate. She comes face to face with a blood-covered Jennifer who creepily smiles before going to the fridge and getting stuck into a whole chicken. Jennifer begins to roar and vomits up a black liquid that's later described by Needy as looking like roadkill mixed with sewing needles. When she attempts to call for help, Jennifer shoves Needy into the wall and asks if she's frightened of her before taking off into the night. After cleaning up the mess and going to school the next day, Jennifer shows up to class looking perfectly normal and acting like last night wasn't a thing. Their one-armed teacher Mr. Wroblewski comments on the fire and the loss of 8 students' lives while Jennifer just laughs at everyone's grief. After their class, Jonas is mourning the loss of his friend when Jennifer shows up and leads him into the nearby woods to cheer him up. Forest creatures begin to surround them, waiting for Jennifer to do her thing as she pushes Jonas back and tears him apart with a mouthful of pointed teeth. Wroblewski hears him scream from the parking lot and just assumes that he's grieving until going to check up on him and finding what remains of Jonas being fed on by the wildlife. The news gets out across town, but the police and Jonas's dad seem to think that only a man could have done it and suspect a cannibal. Meanwhile, Jennifer emerges from the lake and gets dressed before wandering back into the woods and calling Needy when she gets home. She claims to be a god as Jen burns her tongue with a lighter and instantly heals, but Needy just thinks her friend's having an ego boost. As the days go on, the band Low Shoulder gains national attention from the tragedies, and Mr. Wroblewski comments on their upcoming sales funding a disaster relief for the town. Jennifer looks terrible, having not fed for a long time, but still turns down Colin, who offers to take her to the Rocky Horror Picture Show tonight. Upon hearing that Needy likes Colin's creative writing, the insecure Jennifer agrees to a date with him and says that she'll text him the address later. That night, Chip and Needy get intimate as it cuts back and forth to Colin driving to the address, but the bustling neighborhood eventually turns into an abandoned section of town. He arrives at the house and goes upstairs to find Jennifer waiting in the candlelit attic, but as they begin to kiss, her pupils change, scaring Colin. Jennifer then breaks his arm as the camera cuts back to Needy, who starts to see visions of Jen's victims while her silhouette's shown tearing into her new meal. Feeling something's wrong, Needy leaves Chip hanging and drives off in her car, only to swerve to avoid hitting a blood-covered Jennifer standing in the middle of the road. She then leaps onto her windshield, so Needy floors it, knocking Jennifer off and racing back to her house before collapsing into tears. As she hops into bed, Needy's shocked to find Jennifer already waiting in her Evil Dead pajamas and acting like nothing happened. She seduces Needy into kissing her, but when coming to her senses, Jennifer explains what happened the night she left with Low Shoulder in their van. She continued to lie about being a virgin in hopes the band would take it easy on her, but Nikolai and his cult tied her up and brought her to the Devil's Whirlpool. He revealed that they've found a satanic ritual online that'll allow them to hit the big time by summoning a demon. While reciting the incantation, Nikolai repeatedly stabbed her with a Bowie knife before tossing it into the whirlpool and leaving Jennifer dead. The next thing she remembers was encountering the exchange student on her way home, revealing that he didn't die in the bar fire and was the first of Jen's victims. She then went straight to Needy's house and now stabs herself to prove her point that she can instantly heal like Wolverine. Still upset at her friend destroying her car earlier, Needy demands Jennifer leave, so she leaps out of the upstairs window and disappears. Sometime later, while attending Colin's funeral, Needy hears his mother talk about the cannibal on the loose that's still eating people in Devil's Kettle. She begins researching into the band's ritual and explains everything to Chip, including the fact that Jennifer wasn't a virgin, meaning that the demon has become attached to Jennifer's soul. In order to stay strong, Jennifer must feed on human flesh, so she's been picking off the boys at school as easy targets. Needy pleads with Chip to avoid the formal, calling it an all-you-can-eat buffet for Jennifer, but he thinks that she's just trying to break up with him. The night of the dance, Chip receives pepper spray from his mother as protection against the town's killer, while Needy attends the dance to find Jennifer. Mr. Wroblewski announces the entertainment for the night as the band Low Shoulder, who play on stage as Needy realizes Jennifer must be hunting Chip. She's currently in a bad state and covers herself with foundation to corner Chip on his way to the dance and seduce him. She lies about Needy cheating on him with Colin, and the two begin making out before Jennifer leads Chip to an abandoned pool to continue. Once inside, the two begin kissing again, but Chip rejects her advances out of care for Needy, but Jennifer shoves him into the pool and attacks him. Needy runs to her boyfriend's house to find him, but learns that he didn't stay home like she asked and takes off towards the dance to find him. She comes across his corsage on the ground that leads her to the pool, where she breaks inside and finds Jennifer feeding on Chip's neck. The girlfriend dives on top of Jennifer to save him, and when the succubus resurfaces to attack, she sprays Chip's pepper spray in her face, causing the black vomit again. The couple climb out of the pool as Jennifer hovers out of it herself while arguing with Needy about their friendship and where it went so wrong. Realizing how terrible a friend Jennifer was, Needy calls her insecure for poaching the men she likes, giving Chip time to impale Jennifer with a pool skimmer. Bleeding profusely, she jokes about needing a tampon before leaping out the window as Needy attends to the mortally wounded Chip. He dies in her arms, telling Needy how beautiful she looks in her dress while she mourns him and returns home to think about her next move. Knowing that she must stop her best friend, we jump to Jennifer in bed and Needy coming crashing through her window to kill her. She's brought along a box cutter and slashes at Jen, causing her to hover above the bed as the two girls continue to wrestle. When Needy rips off Jennifer's matching BFF necklace, the girls fall to the bed and Needy plunges the box cutter into Jennifer's heart. She regains her human complexion while dying, and hearing the commotion, Jennifer's mom enters to the horrific scene of Needy prying out the knife. Collapsing from exhaustion as the mother cradles Jennifer's dead body, we jump back to the present day where Needy's in solitary confinement. Now she reveals that during the fight when Jennifer bit her, she gained some of the demon's abilities, like the one to hover and break her way out of the asylum. As Needy walks along the highway, she sees a runoff from the Devil's Whirlpool and finds the knife used by Nikolai to sacrifice Jennifer. She gets picked up by a friendly stranger passing by and says that she's following a band and that their next show will be their last. During the end credits, Nikolai and the members of Low Shoulder are enjoying the rocker lifestyle when the camera cuts to a bloodied crime scene at a hotel room. All of the band members are now deceased, with Nikolai's own knife shown sticking out of his chest. The security footage shows a group of girls run into the room before screaming as a hooded Needy's caught on camera leaving. And the movie ends.